Welcome back, Sky Watchers. My beard is super long, which must mean it's winter. This is the first void of the year for 2025. We have an exciting year of space discovery to look forward to. Today, we're going to look at those happenings that I am most excited about. But before we do that, we're going to take a preview of this month's sky by transporting outside and look it up. We are outside of the dome at the Danville Science Center in Danville, Virginia. Using the power of the dome, we are going to jump through time to shortly after dusk this evening. As we do, you'll notice some bright lights rising in the east as the sun sets in the west. The first to appear is the brightest planet, Venus. On the other side of the sky, we can spot a 98% illuminated moon decreasing in light from last night's fullness. The moon will be the only thing brighter than Venus in tonight's sky. Just to the right of the moon, we can find three bright objects, the farthest being the twin stars Castor and Pollux of the zodiac constellation Gemini the Twins, and the nearest being another naked-eye visible planet, Mars. Tomorrow night, Mars reaches opposition and perigee, placing it opposite the Sun and closest to Earth, resulting in its biggest and brightest appearance of the year. Shifting our focus to the southeast, we can use the three stars in the belt of Orion to locate the hunter's gaze focused on a third planet visible tonight, gas giant Jupiter. 3 planets? Can we find a fourth? Yes! Returning to Venus, we spot a neighboring bright light reflecting off of the planet with the most moons, Saturn. Saturn and Venus will appear close together in tonight's sky, but not as close as they will appear Monday night when they reach conjunction. All 4 of these planets will be visible throughout January's night sky. On some yet-to-be-revealed date this month, the very first private space mission to another planet will be launching to Venus from New Zealand, thanks to a collaboration between Rocket Lab and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The Venus Life Finder will utilize Rocket Lab's 2-stage reusable electron launch vehicle to send the spacecraft to an orbital position above the atmosphere of Venus. Once there, the Photon Explorer cruise stage will release a small atmospheric probe equipped with an autofluorescing nephelometer, which will attempt to detect organic compounds within the Venetian atmosphere. Research published in 2020 indicated the presence of phosphine in Venus's atmosphere, sparking inquiry into the possibility of life existing within the planet's clouds. The Venus Life Finder should reach these clouds by May. This past Wednesday, the Bepi-Colombo mission made its 6th and closest flyby of the planet Mercury, passing just 295 kilometers above the planet's surface. The craft approached from the night side of the planet, transferring into the sunlit side, which resulted in these images. Bepi-Colombo is a joint mission between the European and Japanese space agencies to ultimately perform a comprehensive study of Mercury that includes a detailed characterization of the planet's magnetosphere, as well as some of its interior and surface structures. Named for Italian engineer Giuseppe Bepi-Colombo, who first proposed interplanetary gravity assist in the 1970s, Bepi-Colombo has made 9 planetary flybys since its launch 6 years ago. 2 of Venus and 1 of Earth, in addition to the 6 around Mercury. The craft will enter orbit around Mercury in November 2026, where it will conduct the majority of its research. Mercury, being the innermost planet, will place Bepi-Colombo close to the Sun, but it is not the closest humans have been to our central star. Back on Christmas Eve, the Parker Solar Probe reached a distance of 3.8 million miles from the Sun's surface, giving it the title of humanity's closest object to reach a star. Experiencing temperatures of 1,800 degrees, Parker survived the approach and announced on New Year's Day that its scientific instruments successfully collected data during the flyby, data that will be released over the next few weeks. This was the probe's 22nd pass of the Sun over its 4 years of observation. Parker has already changed scientific understanding of the Sun's corona, discovering that it has a jagged landscape of spikes and valleys, as opposed to the previous model of a smooth surface, and has identified the Sun's photosphere as the origin of switchbacks, zigzag patterns, and solar wind. Analysis of the data from this most recent approach will not only further insights into the behavior of our own stellar environment, but the behavior of stars across the universe. We won't just be taking a new look at the sun this year. Humans will be gaining a wealth of information about our own planet thanks to a joint mission between NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO. The NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, or NISAR, will launch later this year to observe natural processes on Earth. NISAR will be the first dual-frequency Earth observation satellite with equipment capable of detecting as small as a centimeter's worth of movement on the Earth's surface. This will allow the satellite to measure complex natural processes, including ecosystem disturbance, ice sheet collapse, and hazards like earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, and landslides. The team responsible has stated that all data collected from NISAR will be freely available to anybody that wants it 1 to 2 days after collection. In the case of emergencies like natural disasters, the data will be made available within hours. Researchers anticipate NISAR will help develop a better understanding of Earth's changing climate and will aid in future resources for natural disaster management. That covers planets, stars, and artificial satellites. But what about our planet's natural satellite, the Moon? Once again, this coming November, NASA's Artemis II mission will not launch a team of 4 astronauts to orbit the Moon, as previously teased. Mission launch has again been delayed, this time until April 2026. Nevertheless, lunar discovery will continue in 2025 as an increase in privately funded moon exploration will occur, including the testing of SpaceX's Starship for inclusion in future Artemis missions and the potential arrival of the first of Firefly Aerospace's landers to the lunar surface as part of NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services Initiative. Tomorrow, January 15th, Firefly's Blue Ghost lunar lander will launch to the moon aboard one of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets. Blue Ghost will spend 25 days orbiting the Earth, followed by 16 days orbiting the moon, before autonomously landing on the moon near a region called Mare Crisium, or Sea of Crises, a massive basaltic plain formed by an ancient asteroid impact. Blue Ghost will be carrying with it the Resilience moon lander built by Japanese company iSpace, as well as 10 different science experiments provided by NASA. Experiments like the Lunar Environment Heliospheric X-ray Imager, or LEXI, which will observe the effects of solar wind on Earth's magnetosphere. This is but a brief preview of things to look forward to in the near future. We will be discussing all of these and more in detail in the coming months. We invite you to continue discovering along with us, with new episodes releasing the second Tuesday of each month, the next arriving February the 11th, 2025, the week of Valentine's Day. Until then, thanks for watching and keep discovering. Bye.